Most guitar players can only play chords like this. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, it depends on the context, and there's a time and place for everything, right? But in this short video, I'm going to show you the principle behind me taking the same exact chord progression and doing something like this over it. You know, that sort of thing. So, what am I doing? It's very simple. Let's say we're in the key of A, and we've got the A major scale. We've got A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and then A again. These 7 notes give us our 7 chords in a key. We've got A major, B minor, C sharp minor, D major, E major, F sharp minor, G sharp diminished, and then A again. Oh, that's so beautiful. Sorry, I get carried away sometimes. Anyways, we've got our chords in a key, and for this intro, I was just playing the 6th chord, which was F sharp minor, and then I played the 1 chord, which is A, and then I played the 2 chord, which is B minor. When I'm saying numbers, I just mean the chord's position in the scale. So 1 would obviously be A, because we're in the key of A. The 2nd chord is B minor, because that's the 2nd note in the scale, and so on. So, with these chords, let's go to the 6th chord. Let's say F sharp minor on the 2nd fret of the low E string. Right? I'm not thinking, bruv, I gotta play all these triads, the cage system, I gotta learn all of these chord voicings, blah blah blah, that's too much. Don't get me wrong, you should learn your theory. Don't be the guy that's like, theory's only gonna kill my creativity. It's just stupid, right? Don't be a dipshit. Learn your theory and you'll enhance your playing a lot. So, we're down here, and whenever I'm on the 6th chord on the E string, I'm automatically thinking, okay, I know my shape 1 pentatonic is there. You can call it F sharp major, F sharp minor pentatonic. Ugh. Or you can call it A major pentatonic. It just depends on where you start, but I just see it as pentatonic, man. So we've got shape 1 pentatonic here, and it goes nicely with our F sharp minor chord. Cool. So when I'm playing this chord, I'm not just thinking, yo, I'll just play the chord and that's it. Sometimes I will. As I said, it depends on the context. But since I know these pentatonic notes are around my chord, I can add them in. You know, I could bar the 2nd fret with my 1st finger, put my 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the A string, and then my other 2 fingers are free to play these pentatonic notes. Like that, right? So now my chord's kind of dancing. It's not stationary, but I can make the notes move about. And if you watch my videos, or if you're in Guitar Alchemy, you know that I say my chord is basically the root note. On top of that root note, I can add whatever the hell I want. So that's all I'm thinking. I could end the video here, but you know, let's move on to the next chord, A. Got the 1 chord. So here, I'm thinking, okay, it's within shape 2 pentatonic. And since I know, you know, these are the pentatonic notes, while I'm playing this chord, I can add that in. How am I doing this? It's a little bit difficult. I prefer to use my thumb, but you can do it with bar chords if you're not comfortable with using your thumb. So you'd bar the 5th fret. I would use my 3rd finger to play the 7th fret of the A and D string. It's possible. And then get your middle finger and play the 6th fret of the G string. There's your A chord, and then your pinky can play these notes. Yeah? So you can add that in when you're playing. Hammer on the notes, pull off the notes. Your chord's dancing now. For the next chord, the 2 chord, B minor. I know this was within shape 3 pentatonic. So I'm thinking the same thing. You know, I'm barring the 7th fret. I can put my 3rd finger on the 9th fret of the A string, and then my pinky's free to play them extra pentatonic notes around my chord. And I can use that to make, you know, all these different chordy sounds. Of course, you want to be good at muting to kind of do all the Hendrixy stuff, but one little thing that I used to do was when I'm coming up on the upstrokes of my strumming pattern, I would pick a specific string to come up on. So you could do a little strum pattern that's just down, up, down, up, down, up, up, but every time you come up, my phone's about to die, pick a string you want to come up on. I kind of just see it as my melody notes on top. Like, you know, on a piano, you got your left hand handling the chord and your right hand's doing the melodies and stuff. The notes I come up on are basically my right hand, if that makes sense. That sounds like, Careless Whisper. Yeah. But it sounds like Careless Whisper. But that's all I'm doing. I'm just seeing my chord in a key, and I know what pentatonic notes are around my chords. Now, if you want to take it further and add your diatonic notes, then we can get into the space where you can use 6. You can use 3rds. You can use 4ths. You can combine them all and get something cool. So I got carried away again, but that's all I'm doing. I'm gonna end the video here. If you want to learn like how to do the Hendrixy stuff with it, then join Guitar Alchemy, links in the description. But other than that, to spice up your chords, know what key you're in first, obviously, then know where your chords sit within that key. I've done a video on this, the how to see chords and pentatonic at the same time. I'll put it here so you can see it, and then after that, just link them together, man. Like, you don't even have to do the Hendrix thing. You can just like play your chord, and then since you know the scale around your chord, just add them notes in. And if you want to experiment adding different notes, maybe you might play this, yeah? If that works. Let me find something that sounds horrible. Let's say I'm playing the 6th chord and I want to play something like this. I know those notes don't work. sounds nasty with my sixth chord. So whenever I'm on my sixth chord next time, I'm not gonna play them notes, obviously, unless you're playing some jazzy shit and you're just adding it in. But I won't play them notes. So you always have a reference point for the next time you play the chord. So let's say I'm playing the one chord. If I play something like this. Okay, that sounded alright. It's hard to sound bad. Now it sounds like, I think because I'm associating it with a mode, it's sounding good to me, but I don't know if it sounds good to you. Let me know. I wanted to sound bad. Let's just play this, man. Okay. Let's say I'm playing the one chord and I played these two notes. And then I added these two. I know, obviously, next time when I'm playing one, I shouldn't add them notes because it sounds like crap. If I'm playing the two chord, it's the same thing. So think like that. When you hit a bum note and it's not too good, just think next time I've got a song, avoid that note. But that's the end of the lesson. If there's any questions, email me or something. But if not, I hope you guys have a lovely day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the whenever I post another video. I don't know what to post anymore, to be honest. I've run out of ideas. I don't want to regurgitate everything that's on YouTube, so if I do have an idea, I'll post it. But if not, just join my live streams or something. Alright, peace.